Welcome to Algebra 1. This unit is on Unit 5, Lesson 6. I will not be here for this day, and this is why there's a video for this. Alright, so let's start with this. For any way you need to convert from percent to decimal, you divide by 100. So let's say you have a 28 and you want to convert that 28%, you want to convert that to decimal, you divide by 100 and you get 0.28. Same thing here. If you want to convert from decimal to percent, you do the opposite thing. You do times 100 to get that. So let's take a few examples here. 0.28 as a percent is 0.28 times 100, which is 28%. This is 6%. This is 41%. This is 0.18 as a decimal. This is 0.39 as a decimal, and this is 0.07 as a decimal. Now, to write as a general form of an exponential, you just need to know this, right? A is your y-intercept, B is your growth rate or decay rate, depending. Your growth rate or decay rate. So looking at this, you need to figure out the y-intercept. So you can pause the video, see if you can figure out the y-intercept, and see if you can figure out the growth rate. Now, to figure out the y-intercept, you must know that when x is 0. We don't know, we are not given that information yet. We don't know what is the value when x is 0. We are given 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's figure out a pattern. As I'm going right, what is happening? I would say here 2 becomes 8 when you times 4. 8 becomes 32 when you times 4 as well. That means if I'm going left, I will be dividing 4. If I'm going left, I'll be dividing 4. I'm going left, I'll be dividing 4. What would that look like? So now 1/8 times 1/4 is 1 over 32. That's my y-intercept, 1 over 32. My growth rate is 4 to the power of x. Let's go to the next page. Here, you're given the scenario. You can read the scenario. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read English, bro. Come on. So, what is the y-intercept? I know of the bat itself that the y-intercept is whatever is here is your y-intercept. So it's 684, 410. That's your y-intercept. What does it represent? Well, you can figure out what it represents. You can read this and figure out. It's like initial population or whatever. Is the total population of the city increasing or decreasing? Since this is greater than 1, it is increasing because it's greater than 1. The value of a can be written as, or growth or decay can be written as y equals a 1 plus or minus r. We know that if it's growth, it's 1 plus r. If it's decay, it's 1 minus r. Given that, what is the rate of growth in Nashville written as a percent? Well, if it's growing by 1.02, you have to subtract 1, you get 0.02. Whatever that is in percent is 2%. It's growing at 2% every year. Cool. Let's go to the next page. You can figure this one out. At the bottom, domain is whatever. Let's do this one. Keynotes. Exponential growth or decay can be represented with the equation. If it's growth, it's a 1 plus r to the power of t. If it's decay, it's a 1 minus r to the power of t. See, the value of r is written as decimal in the formula, but it is usually discussed as a percent. So when we talk about that, we don't say the population is increasing by 0.02. No one talks like that. In real life, when you do this, you will say, even let's say if you go right now to a bank, they will say if you open a savings account right now, rate will be like 3.7% or 4% or something. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the rate at which you will be getting money every year, at what rate you will be getting it. So let's look at this. A researcher is studying the population of 750 blue-feathered turkeys once a new predator is introduced. Oh, why am I reading it? Okay, you guys can figure it out, right? Let's continue though. This is the y-intercept. 750 is the y-intercept. Which of the following is true about the population? Now, I know it is decreasing for sure. Now, I know it's decreasing. That means I can eliminate these options that says it's increasing. Now, it says, now I would always say this, okay? When you talk about decreasing, people always say that it's decreasing by 96.5%. It is not decreasing by 96.5%. what is it saying? It is saying this: if the initial population was, say, 100, the new population for the next year is 96.5. What is the decay rate? How much did it decrease by? So you must subtract 100 from whatever is here times 100, so 96.5, subtract that, you get 3.5. So it's decreasing by 3.5% annually, because that's the decay rate after it has been decreased. So that's how we would explain it, is that I'd probably just say that if it's 0.965 decay rate, you do 0.965 times 100, it is 96.5. That's the new population. See, right now, if you always, even whenever you talk about population, your beginning year is always considered 100%. That's what you're beginning with. Next year, your new population is 96.5%. How much did you decrease? You decreased 3.5%. That's what it's saying. Now, let's do the second one. Is the fund amount increasing or decreasing? Since this is greater than 1, this is going to be increasing. By what percent is it increasing? You can apply the same logic that you applied here. So your initial value is always going to be 100. Not initial value, like your starting point is always going to be 100%. Now, what is your new? It's 112%. How much did you increase by? 12%. That's what it's saying. You're increasing 12% every year. That's pretty much all you have for this. Let's just do one more. I'll do example 1. I'll do example 1 and 2, just so you have this as a, okay. Is the value of the turkey increasing or decreasing? Just by looking at this, I know it's increasing. What percentage is the value changing each year? Looking at this, it's 2%. Is the amount of the leftovers increasing or decreasing? It is decreasing, since it's less than 1. How much is it decreasing by? Well, it's decreasing by 12% each day, because it's 100 minus 88, which is 12. It's decreasing by 12%. Alrighty, that's pretty much all for the video.